Hi, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. First off, I have to say I just saw, and I probably should have seen it before, but I didn't. I just realized that I haven't gotten any emails to the email account that I have up in the About section since the 7th of February. Not just from you all, but from anybody. So obviously there's something wrong with that email account. Don't know what it is. Excuse me. But I'm going to put up and I'm going to replace that email up there in the About section with just a Gmail account. It's going to be integrativepreparedness@gmail.com. Excuse me. My wife tells me I need a cough button on this, but well, anyway, I don't have one. I'm going to put it up there. It's integrativepreparedness@gmail.com. So, and I haven't even been getting any. Like I check the guys that I'm subscribed to on Patreon, and I don't see any notifications that they've got a new video up. And then I go and I check and I see that they do. So obviously something's wrong there. So if you have sent me an email since about the 7th of February. I am sorry I haven't seen it. So send it to me again if you would, if you still care. But send it to me again, and from here on out I'll just use that Gmail account. I don't think anybody has too much problems with that, and I'm not afraid of them spying on me. So we'll use that. Anyway, I started training a new student yesterday, and I was pleased. I won't say I'm surprised because I thought I saw it in them anyway, or else I wouldn't have accepted them as a student. But I was pleased to see that they are a thinker, a real thinker. And it is a joy for an instructor to deal with people who are not just wanting to develop their physical skills, but to develop themselves as a whole person. Somebody, and I don't remember who it was, obviously, or I would have said their name instead of somebody, said something to the effect that it's important to train the whole man. And now in this case, it's a woman, but it's important to train the whole man. To train only the physical aspect is to train a brute, and I agree with that. And we can argue on this, but to me, a true warrior is a multifaceted, a unified person, physical, mental, emotional, the whole package. I wrote a column on that back in Grandmaster, What Makes a Warrior, a long time ago, back in the 90s. And I delved into that quite a bit, and the importance of the mental aspects and spiritual aspects, I think, of creating the whole warrior. But anyway, that aside, I enjoy teaching people who are thinkers. My wife's like that as well. She has an understanding of an interest in politics and the world and things that often amazes me. She would have been a great lawyer or a great cop, actually, but she decided that the important thing to her was to be a good wife and a good mother, and she certainly is. And the world doesn't need any more lawyers or cops, but it could use a lot more great mothers and great fathers. Not to pick on you ladies out there, but good people raising good kids is what's important for this world as a whole and for the rest of us. Anyway, away from my social commentary and back to the subject at hand. So anyway, during our kind of first meeting, she brought up Stoicism, and I found that very interesting. Now I'm not a student of Stoicism. I don't. If you asked me what Stoicism was yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. It turns out that most of my favorite philosophers were Stoics, and I've been a Stoic most of my life. I just didn't know what to call myself. Once I looked into it a little bit today, she sent me a couple of things, and thank you. And I looked at it and said, well, I'll be darned. How about that? That's Stoicism. And I like that and I agree with that. And I won't get into it. I almost did, but I stopped myself in time. Anyway, as I looked into it, I went back, and one of my favorite philosophers is Seneca. And turns out he was a Stoic. Who would have thought, right? And one of actually there are several of my favorite quotes are from him. Well, many. You know, guy was a smart guy, right? He said a lot of things you should remember and learn from. But there are several I'm probably going to lead into some future videos with. But this one, the one that came to mind is, as he said, and I don't go back and I don't have these necessarily memorized. I'll tell you kind of the gist of what it was, and I'll get close. And anybody that says, well, they said one instead of man and man instead of one and all that, hey, he spoke Greek, People who translate these things, you can find all sorts of translations about this, so it doesn't matter. The message of the message is what's important. But his message in this one was to the man, or to one, who does not know to what port he sails. No wind is fair. Okay, something to that effect. And there's a great lesson there. If you don't know where you're going, you're just going to be blown around by whatever is happening in the world, right? You have to have a destination. You have to have a goal. And just as in life, when you see people kind of blowing around and in the breeze like the leaf on the ground, not knowing which way they should go, but always being affected by the world around them, and the confusion that they show, and very often they can be just certain as can be of one thing one day, and then just as certain of its opposite the next day because a new wind has blown, right? We have to see this in preparedness as well. There are many threats out there. We're seeing a new one here with this coronavirus here that many of us hadn't paid much attention to. Pandemic in the past. I raised my hand on that. I wasn't a pandemic guy. But there are a lot of threats out there. If we limit ourselves, which we shouldn't, if we limit ourselves to one or two concerns, then we're not really headed in the direction that we want to go, because the direction that we want to go, the goal of preparedness, should be self-sufficiency, right? I mean, that's the goal. The goal is not to be prepared for an EMP, or to be prepared for a pandemic, or to be prepared for an earthquake or a volcano eruption or a hailstone or a bad day. It's to be able to live a good life, regardless of what happens in the world around you. It's to be self-sufficient. And everything that we do should have that goal in mind. And so it shouldn't matter, what's coming down the pike. If we have our eye on that port of self-sufficiency, we're going to be fine, and we're going to be able to travel with that fair wind. Kelly and I ran down to Sam's Club yesterday, pick up a couple of things. We don't need anything. I mean, that's the point of preparedness, isn't it? Of self-sufficiency. How long could we stay in our house? A long time, okay, without going outside if we had to. We have those things that it's necessary to live, okay, and to live fairly well, to be honest with you. But we went down there, and we did see. Now, we didn't see what a lot of people have reported, empty shelves of bleach and this and that and everything. We did see a number of people down there buying bottled water and Clorox wipes and a lot of toilet paper going out. Apparently, that's, I guess that shows you priorities, right? But we did see, but I had more interest in kind of seeing what people were buying than needing anything ourselves. We picked up some extra vitamins for the kids and just things that we would be getting anyway, and that was about it. I'm going to pause this for half a second because I got to go do something. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, what I was saying, but regardless of whether you're set up as well as you want to be or need to be right now, there is a silver lining around this, and one is that these kinds of things offer an opportunity for you to kind of check yourself, and make that determination. Do I need anything else? And if I do, what is it? Problems, at the bottom of every problem lies an opportunity. And that's the opportunity here, is to find out where you might be weak and what you need to tighten up on. But the other thing is that this has increased the awareness across the whole country like nothing else that I remember, of the need to be prepared. Now all of a sudden millions of people are thinking about being prepared that weren't yesterday. Yesterday the most important thing was to buy that overpriced Chiefs, world championship, Super Bowl champion sweatshirt. And all of a sudden they go, whoa, gosh, that's $65 that I paid for that sweatshirt. I could buy a lot of Clorox wipes and rice and water and stuff for that. So it really has, it has focused a lot of people on preparedness that weren't before, and that is an opportunity not just for them but for you. If you have people who kind of know you're into preparedness, they might use this opportunity to come ask you about it. So be available. Use this opportunity to teach, to kind of introduce. And if they don't come to you, you can keep your ears open, because people are a lot more receptive to it right now. And the more people that we can convince of the importance of being prepared, the more people are going to, have a better time when things really do get hard, and that puts less pressure on the rest of us. So I think that this is, like most things, this is presenting a great opportunity to kind of educate those who weren't thinking about it before about the importance of personal and family and community preparedness. So let's use that opportunity. And, if you may not have a YouTube channel, but you got a lot of friends that you can kind of talk to and your family. And so don't miss this opportunity. That would be my suggestion. So anyway, I'm going to call it a day on that. Remember, I'm going to put up the other email on this, and I'm sorry, I don't know what happened with that other one, but do please, if you have sent me an email since about the 7th of February and you care to resend it to me, please do. I always enjoy hearing from folks and get back to you as quickly as I can. And other than that, I guess that's it. It's a beautiful day out here, and I'm going to go get some. So you all have a good day, and remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. So go do it. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.